We got a match.
Yeah, we got a match going on. We see Drew Levin on the right of the screen and Eddie Gamble on the left. Drew, so we talked a little bit earlier about people playing with
Solar Flare variants.
And that's what Drew's doing. So he's got Snapcaster Mage, Wormcoil Engine, but he's not playing Unburial Rites. He's just playing like essentially blue-black control. He decided to look at every single deck that Guillaume Wafatapa played in the last 6 years. I'm not even kidding. He spent the last couple of weeks preparing for this event, looking at every blue blacklist that Guillaume Wafatapa played, analyzing it, and trying to find cards that would port over into this new standard format.
So he's basically trying to make the teachings deck?
Essentially. So his deck is 4 Snapcaster Mage, 2 Wormcoil Engine, but he also has, and Ray might be excited to hear this, 2 Jace Memory Adept in his main deck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Been looking forward to see that.
So he's got a little bit of a Planeswalker package, 4 Liliana the Veil, 2 Jace Memory Adept. He's got a package of removal spells. He's got Mana Leak. He's got Dismember. He's got 1 Sorin's Thirst, 1 Doomblade, 1 Go for the Throat.
It sounds very teaching.
Yeah, he's got 1 Twisted Image, which I'm super excited about.
Sorin's Thirst, is that really the...
That's Vicious Hunger at instant speed.
But is that the card... isn't there... I feel like there's something better than Sorin's Thirst right
This
now.
is pretty good. I mean, sometimes you need the life.
So, now,
Yeah.
Eddie Gamble, who's on our left, we see him playing Liliana the Veil right now, is playing the blue-black-white version of that deck. So he's playing Unburial Rites and, a package of cards. He also has a Surgical Extraction in his main deck.
In his main deck?
Yeah.
All right.
So that could be pretty exciting.
Anticipation for this
I didn't know if you're doing video or pick.
So the guys get into a little bit of a counter fight over Mana Leak.
Twisted Image discarded.
Yep.
Not going to be very good in this matchup. A little different now without any manlands to have in your mana base.
The manlands might be one of the biggest
I'm not photogenic.
one of the biggest losses, yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, basically all you have left is Inkmoth Nexus.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of decks are playing those too.
Yeah. And we saw one of them steal a win earlier, right? We saw in the Jay Imperiali feature match. We saw him just steal a match with Sword on a
Yeah, that's about
Inkmoth Nexus.
That's good. Sorry.
All right, and that is a Barbed Ruin, is it?
So that is...
That's to get something back from your artifact.
Yes.
Is it really?
It really is.
Was he like a land?
Oh,
That's a
time was
buried
being
ruin.
called,
Yeah, buried ruin. Yeah, there you go.
Scraping off a draft table. What happened with it?
Well, I mean, he's like I said, he has deliberately set out to emulate the blue-black control decks.
What can he get back? He's got Wormcoil engines.
He's got Wormcoil Engines.
So that gets back Wormcoil engine. Anything else?
He can also get back Ratchet Bomb.
Okay. All right. Anything on the board? Any interesting tech there he can get back?
Ratchet Bomb, Batter Skull, another Wormcoil Engine. No.
Well, I guess it's good though because with Forbidden Alchemy, you're bound to get something in there. And,
Right. And I said he's looking to emulate Guillaume Wafatapa. So that is his, Academy rules.
Here's a Ghost Quarter. Now, how popular do you think Ghost
So
Quarter
did
is going to be?
he just Liliana it up? It's hard to say.
I thought
There's certainly cards. I've watched people destroy their opponents with Kessig Wolf Run.
Okay.
And you're not going to mana screw them or do anything like that with a Ghost Quarter. But what you're going to do is they have these utility lands. I've seen almost all of the, that cycle of lands from Innistrad to the Kessig Wolf Run, the Chamber.
There's a milling
the
land
Pain
too?
Chamber.
There's a milling
land.
land.
I've seen people playing almost all of those lands, and usually only 1 or 2 of them. So I think Ghost Quartering a Kessig Wolf Run is a big deal in some matchups.
Yeah, and there's one that makes spirits, right?
I saw that being played in the blue-white.
That's a perfectly reasonable long-term, you're grind it out sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I have a land that's really hard for you to take care of. Eventually, I'm going to make spirits included.
I guess it's not too bad with Sun Titan either. Just try to mess up their mana base.
So we got a Liliana coming down for Drew now.
I just want to see how much somebody's heart dropped when Jace hits the board.
And is that a Dissipate?
Yeah, it looks like it is a Dissipate.
Yeah, RFG that.
When somebody in limited
when a Jace hits the board, it's just heart dropping. You're like, I have 2 turns to find a solution.
You should try it at Minimaster.
And you have no turns. Your heart can't drop that far.
Drew with a drowned catacomb there. Do you have any business after that?
So we're getting close to the Forbidden Alchemy step. I can tell you, the long games here are going to favor Drew because Drew's playing Visions from Beyond.
He did cycle 2 of them already.
Yeah.
Though.
But in a late game where someone, you Snapcaster Mage that back and actually draw 3 cards.
Yeah, you're going to be just way ahead.
Why would you not play some Reanimator spell if you're playing the...
He's just playing blue-black control. He doesn't want... So Forbidden Alchemy, did that get countered?
No, that resolved, and Drew, I didn't see what Drew ended up taking.
Okay. A little bit of a
twice
glare
for
down
Eddie.
at the graveyard.
Yeah, Eddie goes, grabs grabs a card from Think twice. Picks up a Seachrome Coast.
What's that? Grouse House, G-R-O-U. Grouse House, G-R-O-U-S-D.
So another Forbidden Alchemy for... Yeah, I mean,
like complaining
Visions from
about
Beyond might just really be good. Like, you're going to fill your yard up.
Yeah. I don't know how many copies is the right amount, because I mean, I guess they're fine just to cycle through, but I don't know if I want the full 4. Is that what Drew's at, the full 4?
No, he's 3. I think, from talking to me yesterday, I was very excited about Twisted Image.
You talked to me for 20 minutes on the phone about all the things you're going to do to people with Twisted Image.
And I think I may have bullied him into one Twisted Image in his deck.
It's like, fine.
So
Just leave me alone.
I would play Twisted Image. Done.
Stop calling my house at 2 a.m. I'm getting tired of this.
I was just throwing pebbles up at his window.
You know where I think you're going to see the Ghost Quarters more are in the red decks. They want to play Grim Lavamancer because the fetches to flip and load your graveyard. That gives them some disruption because you're going to need a little bit of time, and it also helps load up your graveyard for the Grim Lavamancer to be a little more useful. So I think that's a good place for them to be.
Which thing?
Sorry?
Which card?
The Ghost Quarters. Because the red decks lost the fetch lands, but they still want to play the Lavamancer. They got to way to more reliably get stuff in there. So it buys them time through the land, and it also feeds the Lavamancer.
So we just see these guys just Forbidden Alchemying back and forth now. And they're both at the point where they're going to be able to flash them back for the next couple turns.
I feel like I'm watching Solar Flare and Mystical Teachings all at
Solar
once.
Flare versus Mystical Teachings, yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
It's like some Magic All-Star game.
Eddie with a full grip. He does have Sun Titan, Oblivion Ring, but he's very careful not to do anything too early. But you said that Drew does have the advantage in the late game, though.
He's going to ultimately outdraw him. So we're flashing back at Forbidden Alchemy here.
I'm sort of resistant to change and stuff. Like, I see he has his graveyard on the side of the thing he puts out to make sure he has his cards sticking out that he wants to flash back later on. Rearrange, just put stuff on top. When we started playing, obviously you couldn't change the order of your graveyard at all, right? It was important you had to have it in a certain order.
Well, sure.
You can shuffle and do whatever you want with it. It's totally fine. Yeah, it's within the rules.
Is it totally fine? I'm not sure now. I always forget. They change it back and forth.
I think you can change your graveyard whatever order you want.
It only comes up when something matters.
It bothers me. I don't want it to bother, but it does. You didn't used to be able to put like a nickel on your deck to remind yourself of the next
There you get a look at Drew Levin. There's Eddie Gamble. Eddie's like, all right, well, I will also flash back Forbidden Alchemy. Now there's a surgical extraction for
Eddie right there.
Probably pretty solid right now.
So it looks like he does keep the forbidden. The surgical extraction. Drew is counting his graveyard. It looks like. How many buried ruins is Drew playing? 2 of them. All right.
Is one of Drew's worm coils in the bin?
I can't see with the glare. I don't believe so.
I like Drew's deck. Now here is surgical extraction targeting.
I could see that graveyard a little better.
Yeah, Eddie did pick a target, but now we're waiting on Drew's response.
Oh, and there's the Worm Coil Engine. So he went to surgically extract the Worm Coil Engine.
Right, that's why I was asking if there's one in there, because he has a very room to get it back in response. But if he got the engines, it makes it a lot harder for Drew to win. I mean, he can still win. He's got the Jasons, right?
Sure.
He can use, and he could always Liliana and make him sack half his stuff, basically. But I mean, it really significantly cuts down the amount.
He might be done with Liliana's at this point.
Forbidden Alchemy, there's a Jace.
Ooh, there's a Jace.
Card I've been waiting to see. I wonder if Trinket Mage's legal still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll make a comeback now. You have more reasonable targets.
What do you want a Trinket Mage for?
You
Elixir of Immortality still?
Elixir of Immortality, you could still do that. You could get your... the Spellbomb now is a reasonable main deck card.
Sure.
Ah.
Surgical Extraction on
Took the...
Forbidden Alchemies?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Flashing it back with Snapcaster Mage.
Cure with 2 Mana Leaks, 2 Snapcaster Mage Swamp, and a Wormcoil Engine.
Oh, Jace went to the bin. He didn't take the Jace.
No. He's got another in the deck.
Not part of the plan. I guess the Wormcoil's the plan. Maybe it was another Snapcaster Mage or something.
What
Does Ed have any way to long-term deal with the...
Snapcasting Visions is going to be sweet.
I mean, he's got Sun Titans, Grave Titans, Phantasmal Image.
Stoneblade takes care of it for a bit. Me making these 2 guys, but makes them small. Oblivion Ring.
Yeah, like, Eddie's hand is just all gas. Like, it's just all first draft picks. You know? He's like the Kansas City Royals infield. All first-round draft picks.
They perform better than the Kansas City Royals infield.
I mean, the infield was fine. I think it was the middle of the field that was the pitching that was not ideal for them.
So Drew finally passes the turn, and Grave Titan picked up for Eddie. Snapcaster Mage coming in.
Tiago Chan, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Tell me about that. Tell me how people saying this is Tiago's invitational card. Isn't Rakdos Augur Mage's invitational card?
That's Terry Sutton.
Ah, see? There's my problem. Like, I kept thinking it for so long. That makes much more sense.
Ancestral Visions.
I think it looks more like Mike.
Not Ancestral Visions. Visions of Beyond. There's going to be an Ancestral Recall.
Oh my gosh, he's actually going to draw 3 cards.
God, that feels so good. Like, I can't believe I'm rooting for this to happen.
It's just like cheating, except on turn 30.
I think Eddie's kind of excited too. Like, yeah.
Oh, no, he only drew 1 card.
He's short? Oh, man.
Yeah, I think he's short.
Cards.
I think the only way Drew's going to be able to win is with Jace Memory Adept.
Well, he has the Wormcoil Engine. Might be able to do it.
The Wormcoil Engine doesn't even have a shot. There's just so many Titans in Eddie's hand.
That's true. The moment that Drew does play the Wormcoil Engine, Eddie's just going to go for it too, you're assuming.
Right. Both players are waiting to see who's going to blink first. Flashback for Forbidden Alchemy.
Liliana, Glacial Fortress, Islands, Darkslick Shores. So Liliana instantly taken from that pile. And here we go, Liliana.
We could see Liliana get ultimated this game.
Very possible. Like, Drew doesn't have any answers to Liliana.
Like,
after it resolves.
You see a situation where, like, he just makes 2 piles and he's like Jace and everything else.
Is there a Volition Reigns index in either deck here?
I thought I saw one.
I believe Drew has a Volition Reigns in his sideboard. He's not starting any. And I can't imagine that Edward's deck, which is like 3 colors, is going to be able to,
stick into Volition Reigns as well, yeah. Mana Leak?
Mana Leak it. He wants to get into a fight. He wants to be able to win the fight over Jace. Mana Leak.
Which is counter package he has.
Drew has Mana Leak.
Just Mana Leak, and maybe
And he's got...
maybe a flashback one with a Snapcaster Mage. if he
Yeah.
has to.
He's not playing...
Dissipate. He's got a Dissipate too.
Yeah.
All right,
Here comes Tiago Chan.
Yeah, Drew might be at 20 this time. The necessary number to draw 3 cards off the visions.
$19 right now.
We'll see what Drew does right here. Well, he must be at 20.
That was 19. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16.
It's either player.
Oh, I didn't count. You're right. I didn't count Eddie.
Yeah.
Now Drew finally playing a real Ancestral Recall and ends up discarding Wormcoil Engine knowing that's not the plan. Got to get that other Jace.
He has the other Jace.
Oh, he has the other Jace.
He has it. I imagine it's going to see play now. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Jace, Memory Adept.
Million for 10. Go. Go. Come on.
Tenyu.
Like,
Reading,
what does it do?
reading,
That's about the same look I get on my face
Reading.
looking at my computer screen, figuring out that's actually going to kill me
Reading.
next turn. Looking at my
1,
logo.
2.
6. 10 cards.
That does not look like there are 10 cards
No.
left in his deck
Does not.
beyond that.
Eddie does have Oblivion Ring, but if Drew can just protect his Jace for 1 turn, that's all it takes.
Hard to do. He
I
doesn't
don't
have a
think
lot of
he
ways
can
to do
protect it for 1 turn.
He might, like, even if he can't,
He has 4 Mana Leaks as his counter
He has one
package.
Dissipate.
Oh, he does have 1 Dissipate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for the throw on Snapcaster Mage.
Well, that's not going to be any help.
Liliana +1ing. Didn't see what Drew discard there. He's at the point where his graveyard's way too big. It's getting
Here
off
comes
screen.
an Oblivion Ring.
And there's
Oh,
the
he
one of Dissipate.
dissipates.
There's the one of Dissipate. I'm sorry, I don't see what he's doing with this one. He's either got the counter or he doesn't have the counter. He's going to lose.
I think he's snapcasting. He's planning a Snapcaster Mage, but he has to make sure he has something to Snapcast back.
He only has the leak. They had a leak fight already, right?
He's Snapcastering.
It has to be another Dissipate, and I believe he does have it.
Mm-hmm. He
Dissipates back.
2 in there.
Dissipates back. And then Mana Leak to Dissipate.
That's it.
And that's game.
And Drew
Jace,
takes.
Memory Adept 1, Eddie Gamble 0.
And while we wait for Game 2 to start, we'd like to thank our sponsors, ChannelFireball.com. ChannelFireball.com now has all your Innistrad singles available online. You can get everything from Snapcaster Mages, Lilianas, everything you need for your new standard decks. They are the lowest prices online, so we'd like to thank our sponsors, ChannelFireball.com.
They have any Daybreak Hunters?
Maybe.
I don't know. Those things are flying off the shelves everywhere, aren't they?
It could be.
What do you, I mean, they might even have Jace Memory Adept.
I got it.
Not Innistrad, but they probably still have that.
They probably have that. They have all the Magic singles from previous sets too. But a lot of people right now, with the hype of the release this weekend, trying to pick up all the singles.
What cards have you been looking for, John?
What did I order? I did order a few cards actually from Channel Fireball. I ordered a couple from places I'd never heard of too, some Daybreak Rangers. But I got the little red guys.
Stromkirk Nobles.
I got Stromkirk Nobles. I figured I would definitely need them. What else did I get? I didn't get any high price guys. Like I didn't order Snapcaster Mages. I'm hoping they come down. So I didn't want to drop $120 on the weekend. I might not be able to play.
Sure.
But I know I got the Stromkirks because they were going to go in. Basically, stuff for the red deck that I thought we might like. How about yourself?
You know, I got myself a back from the brink. for my commander deck.
Very nice.
Spend a couple bucks.
And then I don't play a lot of standard, so I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what my deck is.
I ordered 4 or 5 different cards, but I don't recall what they were. I just looked for like.
Did you get Tree of Redemption?
Yes, I got 4 Tree of Redemptions. That's right. I still don't know how their exchange things work. Do you think I would know? Like if I start off and I'm 20 life, I put it down next turn, I change. Is my tree an 020 then?
Yes.
It is. It just doesn't stay at 13. I can't renew my life at 13. So
No. So you activate the tree. The tree becomes an 020. You become a 13. You go to 13 life.
Right. It just seems
but
like.
But then you could take some damage and then go right back up to 20.
Right. But it just seems like something that Wizards doesn't like to do. Is to have something you have to keep track of on a card that's not +1/+1 counters. That's it. Like they even got rid of -1/-1 counters.
It is. I believe the game design term. Fiddly or.
It's like it seems like something they don't often do that kind of mechanic where you have to put a piece of paper. With
I just assumed you went to 13 every time.
Those even better speakers. These go to 13. Yeah. This is 11s. Yes, I did get the tree. Now, if I go to switch and you kill my tree, I don't die, right? Or do I die?
You don't die
because I can't exchange.
The exchange has to happen apparently.
Because exchange rules are special. In
yes. Okay. So, how many Soren's Thirst do you think Drew's bringing in for this game too? None.
Zeros.
Taking one out. So Drew for his sideboard, he's got he's got another Visions.
The extractions.
Yeah, that's definitely something you want.
He's definitely bringing in the surgical extractions. Do you think he goes up to maybe brings in a Volition Reigns or an extra Jace?
I think
probably all that stuff.
I think he can just
see the Batterskull.
I think he can just settle in for the Jace game each time.
I think you're going to see the Batterskull because it can keep being used over and over and over and over again. You know, what I mean, you can sort of
it's a great sink for all that mana.
Yeah, you can certainly do something with it, and he can just it's really really difficult to get rid of.
Yeah, and if they do get rid of it, he does have the 2 lands to return them back. And
right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, got to go back to it again.
I think that's like a good, really long-term card for him. And it can't even be really taken out with surgical effect. He's only got 1, so the bin, it's already.
So here's a card that's a new Innistrad card that's in Eddie's sideboard.
What's that?
Blood Gift Demon.
Is that the 13 tokens one?
No, it's
one where somebody draws a card.
Basically, it's a big fat flyer with a
Phyrexian
Arena stapled to it.
But I can make you draw it and lose the card.
You can make target player draw. Yeah.
I don't know when I would do that.
Target player draw and lose his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's got 2 more surgical extractions in his board, so he can go up to 3. So does this game just come down to entirely surgical extraction battles?
How many of these Eddie bringing in?
Eddie has one main deck, and he can bring in 2 more. He also probably brings in another Oblivion Ring. He knows that there's just a couple of focused things in Drew's deck. He's seen Drew's deck now.
What's our round time? Do we think they have another game?
We have 22 minutes.
22 minutes.
I'm so used to having it on the screen for Moto and watching my time slowly while away, but I didn't see any clock up here. So
sorry, what was that thing you were talking about?
Magic.
Midgo?
A clock.
Midgo?
MTGO?
That's not what I said, but sure.
Again, they've implanted things in the back of my head that if things are said incorrectly, it hurts.
It's Magic Online Digital Objects.
That's
what it is. Hey, look, when they first sold me the game, it was Moto.
It's Magic the Gathering Online.
And now it is, but not for me.
Mythgo.
Mythgo.
Hurts.
I don't have any implants anymore. They let me go. And maybe I'm causing Rich Hagon some pain. I just keep saying
it. Actually, time is a real factor. If this game becomes a surgical extraction fight,
there's no speed in either of these decks. I mean,
no one can.
No one has some random 6/6
how
demon
about
for 4
this?
that can
It's highly unlikely we're going to see a third game.
Yeah, that's true. There was no complicated board states ever, and that first game went forever, and no one really took that much time. So if anything gets complicated,
it's not like they were playing slow either. Right? It was just like flashback from Forbidden Alchemy. Keep this card.
The teaching stuff, the teaching style decks, they take a lot of decision time. I mean, and you're just physically manipulating the cards, doing the casting.
Do you think we'll get to the point where
flashing it back?
Do you think we'll get to the point where we see runic repetition? Do you remember, like Mystical Teachings? They would play like Pull from Eternity, and they could get their Mystical Teachings back, and like runic repetition. It's kind of an interesting, although it only lets you get back cards that have actually have flashback on them.
Okay.
So you can't get back a card that you flash back with
Okay.
Snapcaster Mage that didn't
That
otherwise have flashback.
Really?
Yeah.
So that have flashback?
Maybe that
Root
sounds
of
like it's a
Repetition
little too
says,
restrictive.
so it's a sorcery. It says return target instant or sorcery with flashback that's been exiled to your hand. Something like that.
Okay, well, that makes sense, because Snapcaster couldn't give it flashback then, so it was exiled because it couldn't gain flashback from the Snapcaster. In the graveyard, it gains a flashback, but that doesn't really affect the repetition.
Right.
Forbidden
First
Alchemy.
Forbidden Alchemy for. And are we stuck on 2 lands for Eddie?
Maybe we will see game 2.
No, we won't.
No,
Drew's
no.
up. Surgical Extraction on the Forbidden Alchemy.
Certainly take a lot of gas out.
Drew does not want to fight over that.
3 mana leaks.
He can fight over it, but he chooses not to.
I think he's just demoralizing poor Eddie now.
Is that a Volition Reigns on the end of his?
And Soren's Thirst is still there. Isn't that a Soren's Thirst?
Let's see.
Doomblade, Soren's Thirst, 3 mana leaks and Divisions.
Yeah. He's like, I still have all these right now. The game's just turn 3.
What's he Soren's Thirsting? The Snapcaster Mage? But why?
For value, right? Like you just get it again.
If you have 2
Fair
lands, are you
enough.
sure you wouldn't care to save ourselves 22 minutes? I'll just play with these out.
Doomblade for Eddie.
Can you play it face down as a mana source?
That's a terrible situation to be in. Just like, you need to have Doomblades in the deck because they won't grow engines. But you still don't want to see them early in your grip. Like maybe you want to see ones you have in your pocket. You don't want to draw one until turn 6, turn 7 most of the time. It's just a mulligan.
Yep. Cycle of Visions from Drew.
Yeah, I'm liking Visions more and more. Just watching, like, you could cycle them early and then flash them back for full value later.
Or
It's
just cycle them again early, right?
Yeah.
Like you just want a critical mass of things to do. You don't want your Snapcaster Mage to ever be dead.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible in Drew's deck.
No, but he's deliberately built it that way, right?
He's playing the full 4 of Snapcasters?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 Snapcasters, 2 Worm Coils. Like he's a turn away from just Volition Raining's one of Eddie's lands.
Might do it.
I would absolutely do it if I drew a land here. I mean, that's probably way too greedy, but
I don't know. You take the white land, you can't even Oblivion Ring you until he draws another white. That's his only out is the Oblivion
Vision
Ring.
from Beyond is about to get Surgical Extracted.
can't
He's like,
imagine-
sure, that's fine.
I can't imagine he brought in the Divine Offering.
He shows him a Negate too now. We've got 3 mana leaks and Negate.
Now, if you can only find a dude, he's in good shape.
He's got a Snapcaster Mage.
10 turns is quite some amount of time to draw the 2 lands.
So he brought the 4th Visions from Beyond in also.
Yeah, Drew knows if he just sits on his counters, it's not going to matter.
He's just,
No,
he's
it's
like,
not-
he's like, I don't want to get into a fight over anything that doesn't matter.
The 4th Vision from Beyond is nice to have on the board because basically any dead thing you have, you're always like, well, I'll just can't. You just pull it out.
He's just thinning Drew's
Easy.
deck at this point too, right?
He was hedging in case you were wrong about Twisted Image. That's why he had it there.
Big snaps. Snap down begins.
And he opts not to use his Doomblade. Oh, it does end of turn, it looks like.
So Drew has to discard, so instead of discarding, he'll mana leak the Doomblade.
Still no land for Eddie.
And no blue either, right? That's a black-white land?
Yeah. Drew has Dark Shores. It is almost over.
Alright, you can kill it this time. I'm totally taking your black-white land
Yeah.
next
If
turn.
Eddie draws a blue, that's his only hope, but... Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Not that it's the biggest deal now, but... he's still a little behind. He has to keep on peeling lands off the top.
There's a
And
Forbidden
pretty-
Alchemy.
That will help with the land situation.
Now, Drew's at a point where a lot of his deck's reach is gone with the alchemies and the Visions from Beyond being out, so he dissipates that, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to help him out on land at all if you can help him. It's basically a guaranteed 2 land.
So now we've got 2 blue for Eddie.
And now, think twice.
So, Brian, would you have considered stealing one of the lands there?
What?
Just to keep them off double blue?
No, at this point.
I think it's hard to.
That window had passed.
Cows are out of the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Eddie missed that turn, definitely go for it. Think twice.
Like, he can also just meta leak you there, and it's just like disgusting.
Forbidden Alchemy,
No, he's 8 lands.
drawn by Eddie. Yeah, Eddie's like coming back in this game without the visions and the forbiddens.
There's no pressure. He's got to get something down to beat him with. And all he's got is Snapcasters and 2 Wormcoils.
Snapcaster Mage back a Surgical Extraction.
What are we getting? What are we surgically extracting?
Mana leaks.
Oh, that would be that's got to be negated.
Yes.
Not a lot of thought involved there.
Yeah, no.
Be one of the better surgical extractions I've seen.
Mana Leak picked up for Eddie on his turn.
– 14 minutes left.
It's doable.
Once in a while.
Snapcaster Mage is... Oh, no,
this
think
is Think
twice.
Twice. How many Think Twices is Drew playing?
Drew has 4 Think Twice.
Wow. 4 Think Twice?
Yeah, I mean, they're awesome with Forbidden Alchemy.
Yeah.
Not saying you shouldn't play him. I thought we had earlier mentioned there was one there.
Yeah, because he's playing 4 Visions, 4 Think Twice.
So he still has that little bit of reach in his deck.
Okay.
5 mana, draw 2 cards.
Eddie's but Eddie still has his Forbidden Alchemies, which are going to be huge.
I imagine Drew at this point is digging for his surgical extractions.
Or pressure. I mean, something. You can put Planeswalker down or a Wormcoil Engine down or something. I mean, just getting the Wormcoil Engine down will be... it's a bunch of work for AU to get out from under. Even Doomblades, it still goes in 2/3 he's got to deal with. He's allowed to try to kill his opponent. He doesn't have to draw his whole deck and kill him in some esoteric way in 57 turns.
I didn't see what Eddie decided to keep, but one of the cards he discarded was Think Twice.
And then you thought twice.
Eddie's really coming back in this game. Drew's got to make sure he's able to put some pressure. So if you were playing today, what would you have played? Instead of doing coverage, what would you have played if you were playing today?
I would have played Mono Blue Invisible Stalker.
Really?
Yeah. 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Invisible Stalker.
Okay. That seems kind of fun. Is that something you've
I
actually
four
played a little bit with?
Snapcaster Mage, a bunch of Front Visions from Beyond, Twisted Image, just cycling cards, and then some swords.
Okay.
And then one of the cards we were talking about playing was actually playing Stratascythe. Get a Stratascythe on an Invisible Stalker.
Makes it big.
His Sword's Thirst was able to take out the Snapcaster Mage.
Think twice, gets flashed back.
Now I'm wondering if Drew is rethinking about not mana leaking that surgical extraction that targeted Forbidden Alchemy.
His mana leaks are getting to the point where they're close to dead, right?
Yeah. He may have thought about. He may have wanted to think about that. I have 3 mana leaks. How good are all 3 going to be?
and honestly, he doesn't know that you have 3 mana leaks. So if you're showing it to him, there's maybe there's more value in mana leaking the surgical extraction and just concealing the information that you have 2 more mana leaks.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I think for a lot of players, seeing that hand would be incredibly demoralizing if you're on Eddie's side.
Eddie is very much in this game at that
Absolutely.
point.
No, he totally is.
And
once you hit that Forbidden Alchemy and it went through,
it's a very different game. I don't think you mana leaked the one on Visions from Beyond.
Yeah, you don't hit that one, but the one on Alchemy, we saw how huge Alchemy was the first game, and I expected this game to be all about Alchemy again.
Yeah, that's more than a quarter of your deck.
Yeah,
that you're not able to, speed through.
Your one-ofs are definitely not as good when you're not able to.
And Forbidden Alchemy's been a big part of why Eddie's still alive.
Yeah, he hit his blue source on the very last turn he needed to, and the reason he's in the game. Because if he didn't hit that blue source, Drew takes the land,
Right.
and it could have been real rough after that.
Drew actually has 6 lands in play. One of them is tapped because it came into play tapped.
Yeah.
And Eddie has 3 lands at that point in the game.
Ghost Quarter.
Liliana's on the verge of going postal.
And that's just...
Yeah.
If it does, I'd be really interested to see how he splits it up. You know, like, you put all your black and white lands in one side, all the blues in the other side.
Does Drew have any answers to that at all?
Drew has his own Liliana right here.
Yeah, he's gonna try to flame tongue Liliana with Liliana.
I guess here's where.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that would be where the Mana Leaks would have seen some work, if necessary.
So he was a turn off from setting Liliana off. It's 6 loyalty to ultimate. Oh, and here's the surgical extraction that coming back for a little more. It's going to mana leak the surgical extraction.
Again.
And mana leak it again. So, kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like he thought twice.
At the beginning of the game, you could have done that for 1 mana leak.
And then, still had a pretty big part of his deck alive.
Yeah.
I think at that point, he just felt that, like, he was in just such a superior position. He didn't want to waste them. He countered his first 3 or 4 or 5 spells he wanted to pull out with.
Mana leak.
I think Eddie's happy. Just tap your 3, right?
Yeah, pay the 3.
Pay the 3. Does Drew have his 4th mana leak? Sure. Then your 6 drops are all live.
Yeah.
Leaks it back. Interesting. I guess I figured they'd all get the value out of the leaks and get them out of the way.
He really wanted that mana leak. The Liliana resolve.
There are only 2 cards left in Drew's deck and Drew's hand.
Which is quite an impressive comeback by Mr. Gamble, I think.
Yeah, and I really think it's just because Drew didn't mana leak the surgical extraction. Because he could have started going through his library just like Eddie is.
It's a lot of cards.
And he's had this great knowledge of Drew's hand and what he can and can't do.
Drew might want to just scoop this up now, knowing that he can't win, and try to win the 3rd game, because what's a draw going to do for you?
He also doesn't know how fast it's going to take Eddie to kill him. I don't know if Eddie can kill him in 8 minutes.
Where are we on time? 8 minutes?
8 minutes? I guess that's fair.
And he's not dead. He still has Jason there. He's still got Wormcoil engines.
And he's got a Liliana.
And Liliana...
We knew that Volition Range has been sitting in the hand for some time. Oh boy. Sun Titan comes down.
You probably want to get back Snapcaster to protect from Liliana. And then you flash back. Oh.
He's just going to get Oblivion. Oh boy.
Or the Oblivion Ring.
Oh boy.
So about how fast Eddie could kill Drew.
It looks like a lot
funny thing about that.
Pretty fast, as it turns out.
Pretty funny fact about that. We have the Sun Titan with Snapcaster Mage. I can return anything now.
Bring Snapcaster Mage back in and Visions with what's called the Forbidden Alchemy with it.
Yeah, you could do that. You could. Oh man.
Wow.
He has.
So every turn now, Eddie can attack, bring back a Snapcaster Mage,
and Jace. Is it going to be like a tutor for Eddie? Mill me for 10, so my Sun Titan has more targets. Find the other Oblivion Ring.
I think it's just for Simpleton, isn't it?
He's just going to draw.
So we just went under the 7-minute mark. And Sun Titan goes after Jace.
Here comes Snapcaster Mage.
And Snapcaster Mage is going to flash back.
Probably just a Forbidden Alchemy.
Yeah, it was going to scoop it. Wow.
Right.
So now these guys have 6.5 minutes left.
Does Drew have any sort of aggro plan in his board?
No.
He barely has a control plan. He's on a really, really narrow set of threats. I mean, which is, I guess, what he was
Say it's
thinking with
streamlined instead of
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I guess he was thinking with the surgical instructions. Like, he's just like wants to protect his worm coils and his snapcasters and his chase.
Maybe Drew should have which Eddie's not really on Solar Flare. He doesn't have all those. Is he playing those?
He
other
is on
cards?
burial rights.
Oh, we just haven't really seen him.
We have not seen him do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the way Eddie's deck is playing, it just seems
Eddie
like a better version of.
Eddie has not played
Drew.
out. That was the first time he played a Sun-Titan, right?
Yeah,
He had like a fistful of them in game 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen the buried rights. That's why I was surprised.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just like Drew's deck, but he had white in there for more spells.
Oh, Eddie Gamble only has
three.
3 Snapcaster mages.
Is it a card availability thing, you think?
Perhaps he did not
don't
buy
know.
his Snapcaster mages from Channel Fireball with the lowest prices online.
This
He can only wrangle 3 in his budget, where he might have been able to get 4 had he
the
gone to our
tournament was
sponsor.
free. Instead of paying for the tournament, he should have got a Snapcaster.
Maybe he
made.
would have only had 2 Snapcaster mages.
There you go.
The third one is the free entry Snapcaster mage.
But he has Liliana's too.
I
He has
asked
to figure
Brian
this
about
out.
it. We just throw Snapcaster mages into lists. I'm like,
I'm putting him into mono red decks. I wish there was a
we
fetch
talked about it.
land.
He's like, well, why don't we put in 8 red or 4 8 red? How many red blue lands, right?
There's 4, unfortunately, is the problem.
And then we can play Snapcaster Mage and then flashback on the draw 2. I'm like, that seems kind of janky. Yeah.
I was just having fantasies about Snapcaster Mage and Volt Charge, Volt.
This card's sweet.
But how many Snapcaster Mages can there be easily and readily available about? I mean, for a reasonable price for a lot of people that are coming here. I mean, they're expensive cards and they're hard to get.
Yeah, a playset of them right now around the $100 range for a playset right now.
It's like 100.
Where do you think the price stabilizes on this card? Higher or lower? If I set the price mark, if I set the over-under at $25, 3 months from now, do you take the over or the under?
I take the under easily. We're going to be drafting it a lot, and it's a regular rare.
Yeah,
3 years from now, do you take the over or the under?
I don't know. That's a much more interesting question.
Yeah,
It's moved back into the bigger formats.
I feel like it's going to end up being the over, actually. Because, especially...
Like, Voice was over, right?
Yeah.
Voice
way over. Dark Confidant's over.
All right, we're underway here.
3 years is the good mark, too. It's like where it starts getting pricier.
But, with sets being redeemed eventually once this comes out online, that'll certainly add a fair number of, Snapcaster Mages into the mix.
That's your preferred method of getting cards, right?
I actually, that's how I get the bulk of my cards. I go online, I draft. When I get 4 sets put together, I cash them in, and I draft until I have 4 sets to play with. Although I don't always make it. On the big sets, I always make it to the 8 sets, but on the smaller sets, it's hard to do. Like on the 3rd set, I almost never make a set of 4. So any 3rd set rares, I usually have to go buy because I have 3 Rebel Arcs stranded in my account,
I'm more like, if I see a cool deck that's really competitive, I have to buy it right there, and then that's the deck I'll play for a while.
So what do we got? We got a Think Twice, a Negate, and a Buried Ruin going away.
Think Twice?
Think Twice is getting surgically extracted.
So maybe Eddie's tested this matchup against some friends, because a lot of people are on these type of decks, and he understands where he has to be.
I saw a lot of snap fights yesterday. People were playtesting for the format.
So do you think basically everybody that wanted the Snapcasters was able to get the Snapcasters?
Yeah, I mean, I saw people buying Snapcasters here yesterday who were not even playing decks with Snapcaster Mage in them. They're like, you know what? I just want to get my playset.
Yeah, this is the first week.
I'm surprised the dealers have 100.
You're going to be. Well, I mean, they crack open infinite cases, right? But I mean, this is a card that is going to be 4 of in Legacy, 4 of in Standard. Yeah. I mean, 4 of in Vintage. 4
I think
can you imagine when you get to flashback a Hemta Tarak?
I just want to see.
How about a Time Walk?
Yeah, vintage matches doing Time Walks and recall and
Mana Drain.
Pretty sure the first time you flashback a recall, isn't that basically winning in vintage? You're like,
you cast it the first time you win, right?
Yeah. The second time's like, why did you concede that?
In vintage.
Oh, wow. I'm liking this.
I was really looking forward to we haven't really seen anyone Snapcaster back anything with Phyrexian mana yet.
The surgical extraction we did, but
I guess so, that's right.
They paid the black.
But he paid the actual mana.
So not nearly as exciting though.
I saw people yesterday playtesting just going to 12, just using 2 dismembers.
That's why I'm surprised not everyone was playing the dismembers in their deck.
I saw such an active cowardice today. So we're looking at some guy's mono red list.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple of black lands in his deck.
They
We're
were
like,
these for?
what are these? What are these for? He's like, and he's just like sheepish. And he's like, for my sideboard. So we like grab his sideboard and we look, and there's nothing there. He just has it there to mitigate the cost of dismember. That is cowardly.
That's not a red deck mentality. It's not. That's what you do in a red deck. It's a red deck.
So we're flashing back a.
The deck, he's not going to do well with that deck. The deck is not going to allow him to do well. It's going to punish him for his cowardice. Do you think you see a red black land in Patrick Sullivan's red deck? No.
Not without a good reason. Oh, and then we flash back again.
David
So did
Price, red black land.
20 seconds left in this round. So this
20 seconds.
Yeah, this game is going to end in the draw.
Well, there's a giant surprise. The 2 black-blue control decks would end in a draw.
If Eddie knows the time, do you just like slam your Grave Titan and cross your fingers? Like, nothing? Maybe?
Yeah, you do. I think so.
I think so. What can you do, Vesser? I mean, can you bullish and range your guy?
Eddie... Snapcaster Mage.
Snapcaster Mage targeting negate.
I don't know. I think I cast the Grave Titan and cross my fingers.
Well, he does have... His next turn is turn 2. So I think that's his turn 2. Then I guess he could... Yeah, he does have one last chance. He has to... His next turn, he just has to do it. If he wants to avoid a draw.
Yeah, why not go for it there? That way, if you have to get missed, you still have no shot to draw your second Grave Titan anyway.
Drew attacks like they're playing for first blood.
Liliana.
Dissipated. Says that's fine.
You can dissipate it out of the...
Yeah, dissipated is RFG'd, but...
Okay, turn 2 of extra turns. Surgical Extraction. So Surgical Extract... Is there a mana leak somewhere there?
Yeah, someone should tell him that Liliana's RFG'd. Ow, I just got a little bolt. I meant exiled.
See him corrupting.
Oh, wait, he's surgically extracting the Liliana. That doesn't work.
You can't.
Someone should stop that.
Liliana's not in the graveyard. She got dissipated.
Someone should say stop.
He's already gone through the deck.
Oh, what is going
We're
on?
going to get some warnings here, I think.
We may have found a path to victory. For someone. I'm not even sure who.
Who
Are we
knows?
supposed to say something? Or
We said something. There's a judge over at the table.
Okay.
These new cards are hard to remember, though Dissipate is Mirage old, right?
It is Mirage, yeah.
So,
Still putting him...
there's a glitch in the Matrix.
I guess it doesn't matter that he looked through Drew's deck, because he could just pick another card.
I think he already knows what Drew's deck is.
Yeah.
He's going to extract again, yeah. But like, I don't think you take the Liliana Vets. You take the mana leaks, right, and then you try to resolve the Titan.
Yeah,
you
maybe...
got 2 ways to stop the Titan.
And he fell into the right play on accident. It's like, oh, that worked out.
Oh, you get the wrong thing. Oh, good, I get to pick again.
Oh, I've seen your hand, though, now. I mean, jeez. Well, this is kind of awkward.
And he knows he can go in the jam Grave Titan plan now.
What's Drew's hand? 2 Ancestral Visions and what else?
Mana Leak and a Negate.
Is there a leak in the bin?
That I'm not sure of.
It doesn't look like it.
If there was a leak in the bin, that wouldn't have play, right? Extract the leaks, cast the Grave Titan, across your fingers.
Like I probably would have just extracted the Dissipates. He doesn't know the number Drew's playing.
Right. Oh, I mean, he's seen his deck.
Oh yeah, he did see it. He did see it before.
Maybe you get booking in a minute, folks.
So you're going to see the Phillies play the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You're going to watch your old friend Kyle Loesch come back and do some great things?
I sure hope the great things are serve a lot of home run balls to the Phils.
Phillies have not been hitting down the stretch here, huh?
Just the last couple games, they've been doing okay against the Braves, but they have the 8-game stretch.
I mean, everyone did okay against the Braves. like to thank the Braves for their epic collapse. Like both the Braves and Red Sox are like, we need to push the Mets collapse.
I gotta tell
Like
you that.
third or
People's
fourth
mind.
best worst in history.
You're probably thrilled about both those collapses.
Yeah,
Like,
all right.
those are not your favorite teams.
How about that
I
night
don't
of
hate the Red Sox.
How about that
I mean, it was
night of
just
baseball
exciting.
right
Yeah,
there?
it was
that whole last 3 games, I felt like they rigged it.
It was a great night. It was great.
The way everything ended, you're like, yeah, this is somehow rigged.
I even get to watch it all.
And by the way, you may be wondering why we're just talking about baseball here. It's because we're just assuming that this resolves in a draw.
My daughter
This
came
is
from
true.
karate, went right to bed. My wife went to bed early that night. So I got from about 9 o'clock until the end of the night without any other responsibilities other than like working on a little bit of law work and watching baseball.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
It was spectacular.
Very, very exciting. So yeah, Kyle Loesch is an odd pitcher for here because he was actually on the Phillies for a short period of time.
And
he
he stunk.
was atrocious. Like one of the worst pitchers ever here. I just like his ERA was like 7. He was a horrible pitcher, and everybody wanted him out of town. Eventually, he went to St. Louis the next year, and he started off. He won like 12 of his first 13 games.
Yeah, Dave Duncan gave him a nail file.
The scuffs, right?
Told him how to scuff a baseball.
The Mazzoni Duncan School of pitching.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he pitches as he usually pitches in Philadelphia, which is terrible. I'm really, really excited about closing out 100 pounds. You know, I was like, I didn't think there was any chance I'd be able to trade for 100 pounds. He's been terrific since he's been here. 11 homers, 225 batting average since he joined the Phillies. It's great. Real spark.
So what is getting?
Maybe.
Want to know what happened?
Yeah.
What happened, Rashad?
Well, because of the amount of time that passed since the dissipate was resolved incorrectly, they can't back it up. So they resolved dissipate by putting Liliana in the graveyard. And then a turn and a half passed, which means Liliana's in the graveyard.
We were sort of saying
Really?
Liliana was. We were here saying, Liliana should probably
We were
be
on
in
top
the
of it. We were right
RFG pile.
Well, that's the mistake that needed to be caught earlier.
Okay.
All right.
After that didn't get caught, then the game goes on with Liliana in the graveyard.
Okay.
Do you ever wonder how many mistakes happen that you don't see?
Any
Oh,
Things like
yeah.
this all the time, right?
Magic is so complicated. There's so many interactions. And
Right now, these are XO players.
I think both of these players had a loss.
Oh, okay, X1s.
So they're X1 and 1 after this. I mean, what turn are they on?
Got thrown off now. I think this is turn 3, 4.
One of the things I like about Gamble's deck is he's got phantasmal images to phantasmal image Snapcaster mages.
Oh wow, yeah. And then if it dies later, gets Sun Titan, bring it back.
And then he's like, yeah, Sun Titan my phantasmal image into Sun Titan, into Liliana, sack a guy. Like,
So dirty.
there's phantasmal image. Assume copying Snapcaster Mage. Oh. It's like, I will kill my Snapcaster Mage rather than let you
Snap. Yep.
snap. Yeah.
Is this Eddie's second turn? Or is this
Dude,
Eddie's
who
first
knows?
turn?
I think this, in my head, this should be turn 5.
So Eddie just gave up?
Shouldn't this be over? Because time was called, Drew went first, Eddie didn't play the Grave Titan on his second turn,
Eddie
that's
not
2.
play the Grave Titan. You have to play the Grave Titan.
They
There's no other
drew
way to
3.
win, right?
Yeah, you were just supposed to jam the Grave Titan there.
I mean, is he just saying, I'll just take the draw, I don't care, I'm going to play protectively?
Yeah, because that second turn was the surgical extraction turn. Passed it back to Drew 3. Eddie turned 4. Then this is Drew's 5. Maybe this is Drew's 5 and I just missed the turn or something.
But even so, I guess
Yeah.
he's just accepting the draw. I don't like that.
Did he get bonus time or something? Because shouldn't
Right.
both of them just start scooping up? Because there's
What do you
no way
think?
Drew can win.
What's that?
I said I don't like Eddie not casting the
I
Grave
feel like
Titan.
you can't. Like, it's not like Drew has enough time to kill you. They had
Oh,
2 minutes.
okay.
They're in turn 5 now.
Oh, they're on turn 5 now. Okay.
But still,
It's not like Drew can kill you. You have to try.
Right, you got to throw the Grave Titan down there and see what sticks. If he counters it, he counters it. It's fine, right?
So Drew is showing Batter Skull, and I think he's asking Eddie if he can see it.
You're like, see, I'm going to win this game.
I knew.
He's like, okay, play it. That'll leak it. All right.
And then Eddie will show his grave toy. He's like, well, you can see. I like this game.
You got to cast the grave plate, I think. Though.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow, this is good.
It's like the only way that like the grave plate like ends up coming and biting you back is what? Is he has Volition Reins in hand, right? And even then, he may not have enough turns because he already had turn 1. So if on his turn 2 he steals grave plate and he can only swing it once, it's only 10 damage.
Yeah.
So he only kicks you to 4. I don't see how it's like
I
a
don't
no-lose proposition.
You just have to run it out there. Just hope.
See the judge shoving this. He's like, guys, shuffle later. Here, sign the slip.
All right, I got a buzz, folks. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. How long are you going to be here?
This 3 more rounds of Swiss, and then 2 rounds of the top 32. So 5 more rounds.
Okay, well, maybe we can make it back. I don't know.
Awesome. If not, we'll draft.
I will try. And are you going to be around to draft later?
Yeah, I'll draft tonight.
Okay.
These guys will draft.
Probably, yeah.
You don't draft?
Oh, I said I will draft.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just call you.
Yeah.
Text you. Okay.
Yeah. We have a fun game we play when we beat Rashad. I'll tell you about it later. It's pretty exciting.
Thanks for having me.
All right, later, John.
All right, so we're going to take another short break. Rashad has new wires to prevent it from flickering, if you saw that. So we'll take a short break.
I like the flicker.